I can't believe it. My favorite NBA team, the New York Knicks, actually won something for once. Yeah, the New York Knicks that have given me so many years of disappointment now. I'm not going to sit here and say that the New York Knicks, who are now NBA Cup champions, just won the same thing as an NBA Finals. But yeah, it feels good that, like, teams obviously had injuries, but everybody could have, like, any team could have won this. The Thunder could have won this, but they lost to the Spurs. The Knicks beat the team that beat the Thunder, that have been kind of the odds-on favorite for all the year and the reigning NBA champions to win it all in OKC. And that was a hell of a game. I think as a Knicks fan, and I'm sure Knicks fans can attest to this, the Knicks are always going to play in entertaining games for good and for bad. Yeah, last year there were some blowout games when they played OKC and Cleveland and Boston, but for the most part, this team will win entertaining games and they'll lose entertaining games. And this one was an entertaining game that they won. At one point in the third quarter, they were down by 10, and a lineup with Jordan Clarkson, Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, and Tyler Kolick basically won them the game. Like, that was just a hell of a game to watch. I'm sure that a neutral NBA fan watching it as well probably thought the same. The Knicks outscored the Spurs 35-19 in the fourth quarter. It felt like throughout the beginning of the game too. And watching that game, like, I felt the enjoyment as a Knicks fan, like they actually won something. Like I said, it's not the same feeling as you win an NBA Finals, but I also didn't feel like super upset if they lost this game, because luckily for the Spurs, right, they do not have this go against their record. Like, the Knicks don't get an additional win. I know the players get paid, but I do feel like it would be a little bit better, or not better, but it could add another incentive if, like, this is a tiebreaker, right? Like, you're added this extra win. You technically are playing an 83rd game. You don't get penalized if you lose like the Spurs, but say the Knicks are tied with the Cavs or somebody like Detroit for the 1 seed at the end of the year, the 2 seed, it doesn't go by head-to-head or strength of schedule or whatever it's going to be. This could give you like an added bonus, something like that, right? That could be a little bit more of an incentive to win the NBA Cup. I know the guys get paid. I know Trey Jameson's getting a nice check. I know Tyler Kolick's getting a nice check. And man, does he deserve it, because I loved watching Tyler Kolick at Marquette. And when I was getting into the 2024 draft process, I remember watching Tyler Kolick a bunch, KJ Simpson, but it was more so like Tyler Kolick and Cam Spencer. And those two guys I thought would be good pros, but I'm like, you know what, Matt? They could just be your prototypical good college guard. It doesn't translate to the NBA level. And I don't know how long of a career they're going to have. Cam Spencer's balling out. This was a Tyler Kolick breakout game on the national stage. Kolick's had his flashes this year. He did not look like a good rotational player with Tibbs last year. Tyler Kolick had the best game as a New York Knick in probably a game that won't, like, it doesn't count statistically. Tyler Kolick finished this game with 14 points. He was a plus 14. He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, just 1 turnover. He had a block as well. He knocked down 2 threes, 5 and 9 from the field. He looks comfortable as a ball handler as well. He is a quick decision maker, or at least getting better with his decision making. You know, these younger guards, especially if you're a second round pick, you're kind of nervous out there too, because you have no idea how long you're going to be playing on an active roster. You don't want to mess up, right? Well, I don't know what's going on with Kolick, but it feels like his instincts are just getting better and better as we get further along in his NBA career. Hey, crazy concept. Young guys and rookies and sophomores need time to develop, and Tyler Kolick looks like he could be a solid backup point guard for the Knicks. When they drafted him in my second round draft pick stream, that's what I said. I think the Knicks just need a competent floor general that can play 12 minutes a night, that can play 10 minutes a night in the playoffs for the Knicks, slow everything down, doesn't make any turnovers, and gets everybody to their spots. I think that's going to be Kolick. I thought it was going to be Malcolm Brogdon for the Knicks at the start of the year. He ends up retiring. And Tyler Kolick could definitely be that backup point guard for the Knicks going forward. A team that didn't have Miles McBride in this game. A team that doesn't have really a great bench. And Karl-Anthony Towns gets injured in this game. Josh Hart gets injured in this game. I don't think Mikal Bridges got injured in this game, but he did not close out this game. He wasn't shooting the ball all that well. And honestly, kudos to Mike Brown. That is not something Tibbs would have done last year. Tibbs would have played Mikal Bridges probably 43 minutes a night in this meaningless game. In a way, meaningless, right? But he trusted Tyler Kolick. He trusted Jordan Clarkson. He was playing these guys just as much as Josh Hart, and, well, more so Mikal Bridges in the second half, because it was working with Jordan Clarkson and Tyler Kolick. Jordan Clarkson played some of the best defense I've ever seen him play in his career. Now, I don't remember every single game of Jordan Clarkson as a Jazz, as a Cav, as a Laker, but that was some really good defense for Clarkson, and I feel like he might feel rejuvenated with the Knicks. Like, this is the best team he has been on in a little bit, and he has a legitimate shot and maybe an Eastern Conference title this year, maybe an NBA title this year. The Knicks don't play the Thunder for a little bit, so I have no idea how they're going to match up against the Thunder. They went 0-3 against them last year, but this might be the best Knicks team, and they're going to get me overly confident. Watching OG Anunoby as a connecting piece to Brunson and Cat, watching those two have just so much better chemistry in year 2, which is something you'd expect. Now, Mike Brown, a more offensive-minded head coach, is really opening up the floor. I loved his rotations tonight, and it's starting to make me think, you gotta F them picks, right? You already traded your first-rounders for Mikal Bridges. I don't even want to hear the word Giannis Antetokounmpo mentioned in Knicks circles this season. I want them to trade away Gershon Yabusele. It hasn't worked out. Trade him away. Trade Pacomi Dadier away, a recent first-round pick, and a first-round pick, and like an unprotected swap or something like that, to go out and get one more key rotational wing. They need another wing. They have 3 solid guards off the bench in Clarkson, McBride, and Tyler Kolick now. They need another wing. I don't think it's going to be Kevin McCullough this year. I would love to see them land something, because it hasn't really worked out with Gershon, and I think this Knicks team is the best team in the Eastern Conference and could maybe be in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. Shout out to Mitchell Robinson, who had 10 offensive rebounds in this game. Most of that was against Wemby. Yeah, down low, Wemby, 7'4", 7'5", 7'6", even going up against Luke Cornett, who's a solid rebounder as well. And it's also insane how many three-point shots on second chances they get from Mitchell Robinson. I don't think Knicks fans, even though they do, and I appreciate what Mitchell Robinson does, I don't think we could truly grasp how much he means to the New York Knicks right now as an offensive rebounder, a guy that is so good around the basket at just getting every single missed shot around the rim, and he was a difference maker for the Knicks tonight. He's a free agent at the end of the year. I'm like, do the Knicks ever trade him? Do they extend him because of the injury concerns? I don't know, man. That is a Mitchell Robinson that went toe-to-toe with Joel Embiid, that went toe-to-toe with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley in the playoffs before, and could be a legitimate guy for them going forward. For the Spurs, it was a fun game. I mean, I don't know if they could top how they feel after beating the OKC Thunder, who were 24-1 in that game. Stephon Castle, defensive stud. Year 2 has been off to a great start. He made some fantastic passes in this game. He had 12 assists, 7 rebounds. The shot wasn't falling too much, but he's still a bad game. It's still 15 points. He played well. Dylan Harper played really good offensively in this one. He is so skilled around the rim, making so many difficult at the rim finishes, and he was elite at the rim at Rutgers. It's been the same thing here with the Spurs, and he even knocked down 5 of his threes tonight. I thought Devin Vassell played really good in the first half, struggled a little bit with his shot in the second half as well, but I thought made some really impressive plays, even though he went 4-14. Not the best De'Aaron Fox night. He really wasn't playing a ton with this team in the second half. It was a lot of Stephon Castle. It was a lot of Dylan Harper, and then Fox comes in 5 or so minutes left in the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, De'Aaron Fox is on this team. I haven't seen him in a little bit. Obviously, Wemby is still on this minutes restriction. He only played 25 minutes. I mean, he made some crazy threes. He knocked down 2 of them. He is so unreal around the rim. He extends his block streak, and that was just a really good game. And I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched as well. I don't know if we're ever going to see these teams play each other when it matters the most in June this year, because the Knicks got to get through the East. The Spurs got to get through the Rockets, Nuggets, Thunder, and that part of the Western Conference. But these two teams had really good games last year where Brunson had, I think, 50 or I don't know if it was 60. 50 or 60 in one of those games. And then you had the Christmas Day game in which Mikal Bridges went off and they beat the Spurs. I know when Brunson went off, they ended up losing that game. The next time these two teams end up playing won't be until March 1st. And the Knicks don't play OKC until March 4th. So, yeah, we'll see how the Knicks look. They're 18-7. Unfortunately for them, they're not 19-7 after this. I don't know if there's an NBA Cup curse, because the Lakers won the Cup in 24. They lose to the Nuggets in round number 1. The Bucks win the Cup in 2025. They lose to the Pacers in round number 1. The Knicks win the Cup in 2026. Now, I will say, this Knicks team is a lot better than the Bucks team that won it all last year. And I believe they're better than the Lakers team that won it all in 2024 with Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves and LeBron James and the inaugural NBA Cup integration. So yeah, that caps off year 3 of the NBA Cup. Adam Silver said before this that they would maybe tweak it a little bit next year. The semifinal games go back to the home team. So I think the Magic were the home team in that one, or maybe it was the Knicks, and then obviously the Thunder would have hosted the Spurs. They also mentioned that it could go to like a different neutral site in the championship, maybe like a historic college arena. I tweeted out that maybe it could be on the carrier, the aircraft carrier that we saw like UNC play Michigan State over a decade ago. I like the Cup. I mean, I don't hate the Cup. I don't like the courts of the Cup. I don't like how early it starts. I know that means like the reason why they started early is because they want to have something fresh at the start of the year, but it's the start of the year. It should feel fresh. It should feel like everybody should be locked in for this. I know it gives a change of pace at the start of the year. I'd like it a little bit later. I think that's an unpopular take. I tweeted out as well that like this could be a bad idea. I'm not like dying on this hill. You could tell me it's a bad idea, but what if you replace the All-Star game with the NBA Cup finale? You would have all these stars in attendance. You'd still get that neutral feel, that big game feel, and you would give probably like a 4-day rest or something to the guys that play in that Cup championship, because you got to give them some type of break. Maybe instead of replacing the All-Star game, you keep that. This replaces the celebrity game on Friday. Could do that. Or maybe this replaces, or this goes on Saturday, and then you move the slam dunk contest and 3-point shootout to Friday, and that replaces the celebrity game. I'm sure you could probably access celebrity game, or maybe they like the celebrity game. I don't know, but either way, I wonder if they would change anything like that with the NBA Cup. But yeah, that was just a really good finish, I think, to a strong NBA Cup this year. I mean, recency bias could be a thing. I think this is probably the best Cup. I do remember this being a better game maybe than Bucks Thunder last year. Don't quote me on that one. But I thought that was a very entertaining game. I don't know if I'm leaving this game with anything more than, okay, I think the Knicks can win the East. It's still a different beast when you talk about the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference. We'll have to wait to see how the Knicks match up against those teams. I hope Leon Rose, and I'm sure he is realizing this team could be the best chance they have at winning it all. These are OG, like this is OG, Hart, Cat, Bridges, Brunson playing maybe at the peak of their abilities. And then you have Robinson, maybe Kolick, Clarkson, and Miles McBride off the bench. I'd like to see them try to move maybe Gershon Yabusele's contract with Bakomi Dadie, and maybe just get one more wing on this team. Doesn't have to be a flashy wing. Give me a Hayward Highsmith or something like that. Just one more piece for this team to hopefully win it all. They lost in the conference finals to the Pacers last year. They're not going to have to go through the Pacers this year. I think they could beat Detroit. I think they could beat Boston. Who knows what's going on with Tatum. I think they could beat Miami and Toronto. It's not going to be easy. Orlando, Atlanta, Philly. It won't be easy to beat those teams, but I do think the Knicks can walk away this season with an Eastern Conference title. NBA title, it's a different beast, but hey, maybe they'll hang the NBA Cup banner in Madison Square Garden. And the Spurs, like, they're going to be good and respected this year. I think they could win a playoff series. But this team is going to be so goddamn good in the future as well, with Harper, Fox, Wemby, even Vassell, Stephon Castle, obviously. They have some draft capital. Mitch Johnson has gotten a lot out of this team, and that was just a fun game. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. I wanted to upload a reaction to the NBA Cup, especially because my Knicks were in it as well, and I really enjoyed that one. So if you did enjoy, I'd appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys thought about that game in the comments, or maybe just the NBA Cup in general. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.